All right. How are you doing, Scarcer?
I am doing A-okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited to see this Edge hero because fast heroes are always interesting. What are you looking forward to in this race today?
How far the runners push it? Like, we've got edge. We can do a lot of things. Oh, Wrexsoul has ads on.
Well, we'll just have fun. We'll just have fun. In the meantime, we also have the excitement of uh 64 floor glitch. That is on in this flag set, and that is perhaps the coolest thing that we can expect in this matchup. And we also have a situation where Wrexsoul for Can You Feel the Love Tonight is looking to get their teams to their first win for the week. And GoldenShocker for Violet Vamp Bats are looking to try to sweep this week, which will give them an additional 2 points. In this tournament, we have it set up so that every match matters for the team, even if they have already clinched their weekly matchup. Right now, it looks like we're just waiting
Waiting on the race to start.
for. Yep, waiting on the race to start.
And race has started. We're off. Let's see. Relax. So this could be the really funny Foo start? No, Palom.
We'll take a Palom. Getting our wonderful spoon that Edge can dart,
Oh yeah.
and that's about it.
That is an eternal question. Where do we dart the spoon? What can we do with the spoon? My favorite spoon target is Demist.
Same. An ugly Demas spot, you just chuck it right into the dragon, which on this flag set does give us a key item, so that is the one boss hut that we're looking for. And it looks like we have immediate divergence, with GoldenShocker heading into Baron and Wrexsoul hopping straight into Eblin. We've got Bahamut having tea with the other twin.
Yeah. All right. Normally, I'm not a fan of on weighted treasure settings hopping into Baron first, but with Edge and the Thrift 3, there are like half a dozen worlds where you can just do Baron in, and spoon, and throwing the spoon at Baron in 2 is a perfectly valid way to deal with that. That being said, it looks like GoldenShocker was just scouting it for the information, which is how that play normally goes.
Yeah, looks like GoldenShocker just wanted the information, scout out that Baron item shop, and now heading into Eblin. Defense sword. Wrexsoul just picked up a defense sword.
Defense sword with the T playable flag. Defense sword means either our titular Kane or the guy Cecil are in the seat. Could be both, but
Scarcer, when you're going through Eblin, at what point, what is one thing when you go through that immediately tells you, all right, I'm out, I've looted, I've got what I needed, with these two, with this start?
a Stardust Rod maybe. But I'm also greedy. That's 2 monster
Fair.
boxes in the middle tower. How rude.
Did either of them peek which box they were? Because I didn't see that.
No, and I think just immediately hitting that reset button there is perfectly okay. You don't like if you come back to Eblin, you're either coming back because you have the guy and you want experience on the guy and you're doing all 3 boxes anyways, or you're not coming back to Eblin. Like again, it's T playable without you kind of want to know who's around. Because
Fair point. Yeah, when you're scouting through Eblin, you get a sense if get one of those highly specialized items in the chest, you're like, oh, now I know that person somewhere.
Yep.
which is important when it's distinct 8, I believe.
It is DC distinct 8, so there will be 4 characters not in the seed. 6 characters have unique gear in this game. Only 6, which is like I've checked and double checked that like 3 times. But it's only 6.
Which 6?
It is
Can you rattle them off?
Cecil, Kane, Rydia, Edge, Sid, Edward. All
Gotcha.
of the mages, like the non-Rydia mages and Yong, don't have any unique equipment.
Makes sense. All right, up on hops, we have Arcane
We have Arcane. We had an Earth Hammer
with a blue robe.
in the right area there.
Well, here we are. We've found the gauntlet, which on this flag set is the classic gauntlet, which is good for Wrexsoul using that flame, because that means Edge's flame can just cut through this gauntlet without any issue.
It'll cut through. He only starts with enough MP for 4 casts, so you're gonna have to punch something. And you're gonna have to punch 2 somethings, because it's 6 encounters for this Fabul gauntlet instead of our alternate gauntlet.
A piece I am forever forgetting. You would think, with the amount of times that I've played vanilla, that I would remember that the original gauntlet's 6, but no.
Well, the original gauntlet has a lot more cutscenes associated.
That's fair. Yep, saving the MP, fighting that gargoyle.
Gargoyle actually has a really mean script. Also, that maid kiss is a guaranteed drop, but only in free enterprise because of the way the gauntlet is handled. It's like it uses an otherwise unused encounter slot so that it can load it wherever it wants with no issues. And that encounter slot is set to always drop its item and always drop its common item, which for the gargoyle is a maid kiss. I don't think it happens on other gauntlets.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen guaranteed drops on the other gauntlets. But I 100% remember every time Maiden Kiss. All right, Wrexsoul's through that gauntlet. And GoldenShocker is heading up. Let's see. Where does Wrexsoul go now?
I mean, with Edge, you can really go anywhere. Did they pick up any Edge weapons? I don't think I saw anything on either side. Like, they're both rocking Boomerang Fireclaw still. A full moon? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tracker. That's why we have trackers. But we also have that defense sword on the Kane we just picked up. So between Edge and Kane, very few things are going to be a threat in the early game.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there's a better weapon.
An Assassin Dagger, also not terrible. Great for pushing the limits of Fast Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Horribly inaccurate.
But good for a swoon proc if you can make it happen.
Yeah, and Edge is a good character for the swoon procs.
All right, who is down an antlion today? Fixing up Edge's equipment and...
Octomam.
Octomam. This Octomam is not long for this world.
No, it's
Bye! Alright. What do we get? A hook?
hook.
Do you dive it right now, Scarcer?
No, I mean, you could. Yo, free curse string. That's why you loot that one chest on Hobbs.
Right? I don't think Wrexsoul did. If he did, I missed it.
Curse string being at T4 is so... It's so warping. Like, the strength of the curse string should make it a tier 7 item. Just be like you should not be able to
Yeah.
loot a curse string on Hobbs on a weighted treasure setting.
I mean, selfishly, I'm not going to complain.
No, as a runner, as a as a runner, it's pretty nice finding when it hits, but it's also kind of, it feels bad when you're in a situation where you feel that you're ahead of your opponent, and so you have to kind of like, I don't know how either of these runners feels about the other, but if one of them feels that they have an edge execution wise, they could go loot extra boxes to make sure that to cut off looting divergence. And if you're doing that, Hobbs is one of those places you kind of have to loot.
We've got Baigan here in Fabul. Better here than on the moon, for sure. And GoldenShocker's getting his own hook.
Now, I will say a curse string is probably going to be more money in the pocket on an edge hero than anything else. Like, if you're setting up reflex strats with an edge hero, you're in dire straits.
Yeah, and I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, what? Curse Ring is really cool, but with an edge hero, how often do you use it? And we get a Luca key from the King of Fabul. Right now, GoldenShocker's just following in Wrexsoul's footsteps.
Yeah, we've got, this looks like a pretty standard opening play for, honestly, for any free enterprise seed you've seen in the last several years.
This is definitely standard. Following the plot. But I wonder, what would it take? What type of situation would it take to diverge from this standard opening? These are the questions that run through my head constantly. At what point do I do something else? Now Wrexsoul's heading into Baron.
Yeah, Porum will
Seeing
be joining
that
his team
Bahamut.
shortly.
Yep.
With this gear, I don't think there's much that really stops you in your tracks. I think it would be exactly Ogo with a high roll on the agility, and even then probably not. Edge is so fast that even I think it can go up to 7 base agility for Baron N2. That's going to be like RA10. It's a Sparkle.
Which sparkle do we get first? Pale Dim.
Pale Dim.
All right. I couldn't help it. The dudes, man, the dudes.
A little bit.
Would it be better to have Kane jump here rather than just swinging?
Maybe. But also, if you're just holding A, right? It's a good time to take a drink. Because
fair.
With Edge in the back row, you're probably going to be able to chew through this. And it depends somewhat on Kane's relative agility. I haven't done a super deep dive into the math of it, but jumping takes a long time. It takes 4 game ticks for Kane to go from ready to jump to in the air, and then another 4 game ticks for him to land. So there, in the vast majority of situations, if you're jumping, you don't need to jump for. You should not jump for offensive purposes. Jumping is frankly a defensive maneuver in free enterprise. If you need Kane to not take a hit, jump. If you need Kane, like avoiding DKC
Need to avoid
waves,
counters.
yeah, or if you need to avoid the counter, and if that were at a faster spot or you had a slower anchor, maybe you should have jumped. But I think that paled him through like 2 punches to the party's 20.
Maybe. And Wrexsoul did pick up the magma key along with that white mage. GoldenShocker did a little bit of shopping in Silvera before heading over here to Baron.
So with magma key and a character that can learn exit but does not learn exit, their next step here is going to reveal a lot of Wrexsoul's plan regarding the 64 floor glitch. Because for any warp except for for any warp that you want to return to Dwarf Castle from, you need exit. If you cannot walk out, you cannot warp out. Once you go into the underflow, the game doesn't care what you're trying to do. You're in underflow land.
Once you're in the nether, there is no escape except magic. Did GoldenShocker intend to hit Palom?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I didn't.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry. I was like, what? Yeah, this flag set is definitely an interesting guessing game of will they, won't they, with the 64 floor glitch.
I'm telling you right now, GoldenShocker's going to the ribbon room because he's got his menu color set 2/3 of the way to what the guide Plumeria Knight wrote says to do for ribbon room.
Gotcha. And one of Wrexsoul's teammates is letting us know that he's been practicing the glitch, but that doesn't mean he's going to do it. So.
Oh yeah, I was even helping him figure out the glitch earlier.
Heck yeah.
But
heck yeah.
It's a matter of will you do it live, because if you mess it up, if you it's 2 minutes, you've the point at which it messes up, you've thrown away 2 minutes. And if you can afford to throw away those 2 minutes, yeah, go for it.
Right. Guess it depends on if you feel like you are ahead.
Honestly, just if you feel that you're comfortable doing it.
Fair.
Like if the execution, the only point at which your the timing, like the actual time spent doing your actions matters, is if you're doing the sealed cave warp, because you need to go back a floor and then exit, and when you leave that room, it checks like the time you've spent in your save menus, and if you've spent too long or not long enough in your save menus, it can soft lock you.
That is a little bit I did not know. That's a little scary. Not gonna lie.
It's scary.
Even more impressed when people manage to pull it off.
But it's known, and getting another commercial break.
Darn it.
I guess we'll just miss what's on our deals.
And GoldenShocker going straight to Dwarf Castle.
Going straight in, but he's going shopping because he parked his airship one spot to the left. Sirens. Praise be unto the sirens.
Can't be mad about finding sirens in a shop. Well, there's another curse ring.
Another curse ring? Oh, that's money. That's siren
Yup.
money right there. Curse ring buys 8 sirens. Remember that.
Oh, that's right, because of the bump in
Yeah,
cost.
the huge bump in price. There is a tier 4. It is the most expensive tier 4 item, I think, by far.
I mean,
The
again,
only
it deserves it.
Yeah, it should be like a tier 7 item is what I'm saying. If we're going to if it's because of how critical it is when you find one, it should be hard to find.
All right, GoldenShocker. Who is our job dwarf today? Please, please show us. I feel betrayed.
You didn't look.
I am so betrayed. I wanted to know.
The anti-meme is as funny as the meme, and oftentimes funnier.
All right, Wrexsoul is through.
Oh,
The
adamant. Yo, half
Yep.
of Forge. And
That mountain is
Murrah's,
required.
yeah, Murrah's for sale in... Oh, Murrah's and Crystal Rings? This is really nice for the... Actually, Murrah's and Crystal Rings for sale. Now you have the anchoring to way more comfortably do Reflect strats. But also, if you have double Murrah and you have Defense Sword Edge, you can or not Defense Sword Edge, Defense Sword Cane. You can...
This isn't on me. Sorry, I had to.
If you
Get
get up
used to
to
me.
if you get double Murrah there, I do like Murrah Crystal there because it just you get the strength bonus from the Murrah, but you offset that agility penalty. Crystal Sword is also the best ring in the game. Is that Crystal
Yes,
Sword is the best ring? Crystal Ring is the best
it's
ring.
fine. I knew what you meant. We were with you.
I mean, if you
But
could
with
wear
GoldenShocker
a
diving
Crystal Sword
under.
as a ring, it would be the best ring in the game. But
Right. Okay, so with GoldenShocker going underground and fading the mountain, how long till he goes back to it?
either
Because I'm a little worried for GoldenShocker right now.
either never or as soon as he gets a Cecil, or he might
Okay.
just be collecting on freebies.
Because unlike in many other flag sets, there is no option. With the adamant sitting on ordeals, they have to do it.
Yep, it is require all. I don't know how you have only one objective, and not have to do it, but I guess there will be situation. Oh, wait,
I missed what was in the freebie.
a samurai.
Like,
It was a bow of some sort. It was
okay.
terrible. It was a zonk.
Okay. All right, yeah, Sammy bow. Okay. I look over to Wrexsoul for like half a second. I'm like, oh, dang it, missed it. And we have a Vanillity Mist.
That's
Why,
good.
hello, ma'am.
That's
Goodbye,
good.
ma'am.
Good old Eric missed.
Okay, we have a Karate at Asura and Maga Sisters at Leviathan.
And we're never gonna. And that's the last we're gonna see of either of them.
Yep. We just are glad to know that they're there. And that we don't have to touch them. And ready as mom. After looting a silk web in the grass. You know that tracks. Spiders in the grass.
You see,
Ready as mom gives us
a grimoire.
a grimoire. Okay.
Telling us to read. At this point, commentator brain wants. Well, actually, commentator brain and racer brain wants every next check to be every next check Wrexsoul does to be the legend sword.
Just to see, watch him panic.
Because Wrexsoul has Zeromus access through the 64 floor glitch. I don't know that it'll do it. He'll definitely want, if he gets, and I think if he gets go mode before a 5th character, I would so much as wager money that he would go find a 5th character.
Mm-hmm.
Because not many people have learned 1200 strats, and I think Wrexsoul
Yeah.
could also Wrexsoul could like, on the flip side of 1200 strats being a rarity, wager that his opponent hasn't learned the 1200 strats or doesn't want to do the 1200 strats, and so he doesn't necessarily have to worry about it. I think there's like,
With both runners being newer,
yeah.
that would be a safe bet.
Well, GoldenShocker is newer to Free Enterprise.
To Free
GoldenShocker
Enterprise,
has
yes.
a lot of randomizer experience in Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, where he
Yes.
is he's a top player over there. I think he's like,
He's scary over there.
I'm pretty sure if there is a Pancrase of Worlds Collide, I think that's GoldenShocker.
I get behind that. I've been watching Worlds Collide. I can't play it for anything, and I certainly can't track it, but I do enjoy watching it. So, free Siren. All right. What is on this hook route? Looks like GoldenShocker is gonna crack some eggs here. That's a foo.
Fusoya. Oh, this. Ooh.
And an antlion we don't have to touch.
Yep.
All right.
You can definitely just steal Sirens with Edge. Yeah. 1200 probably isn't the play here. It's if Legend Sword shows up, it's on the table, especially with Fusoya. Oh, and a White Spear.
Ooh.
Now the White Spear isn't much better than the Defense Sword, but once you get 2 Zeromus levels, it is better than the Defense Sword because the difference in agility is made up for by, or not agility, accuracy is made up for by level bonus to accuracy. Once you hit, I think, level 40, they have the same accuracy.
And with the foo maybe flag on.
We have Nuke. It doesn't matter.
I know. We have nuke, we have warp. We don't have exit.
No exit, but we have Porum.
That's true. Porum's gonna do some work.
How many characters learn exit? It's the 2 dedicated white mages, the 2 sages, and Cecil.
And Cecil. Mm-hmm.
So if you get Fusoya as your only white mage, there can be seeds of this where G64 is not possible except as, well, is not possible as a method for gaining key items. You can always do this Zeromus warp because once you're done there,
You're
the
not
game
coming
ends.
back.
You don't need to come back, yeah.
Quack on the kid for GoldenShocker. Is that what he was looking for? Yes.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. We could have said that as soon as he landed, like, he's getting Quake. Quake is a wonderful spell.
Quake is real good, yeah.
Like, there are flag sets where Palom is simply the best character in the game, in part because of that early Quake.
So who is waiting for us in Dwarf Castle today? That is an evil, evil wall. Sorkrobe on our foo. And the white spear, yes.
So it looks like Wrexsoul's about to do actually something rather similar to what GoldenShocker just did, which is getting Quake on the kid, but in the lens of, I also want loot. I know where all the monster boxes are. I want a big stick.
Can't blame him.
I think with 5 characters revealed, your odds of Cecil are really low.
Yeah, and at this point, do you just commit to this party setup?
Yeah.
And call it good. Nice swoon on that black cat. Almost.
Almost. If Usoya has Quake here, you should just cast Quake.
I didn't see Quake on Fu.
He has Virus. Okay. The weak to set up a little better for life glitches is not terrible. Virus, I think, would have killed.
Hmm. All right, we've got some flavor of Mylon and a dupe Alum. And it is a party.
Yep. Oh, what was the item from that box? I missed it.
It was a silver apple. All that for an apple.
The Quake progress is the silver lining of that apple.
Yes.
Oh, that he has the assassin
he has
dagger
the assassin
on.
dagger. Same thought, same brain cell. I'm
Well,
like, why didn't that kill them?
It's the only case where it doesn't kill is if you have the assassin dagger on. Luckily, the second flame does. It doesn't nerf him such that he can't.
Oh darn, Sue is cursed. All right, what is our fashion show today, Luca?
The leg end, perhaps?
That would be interesting. Or it's music. That's also interesting.
Perhaps.
And a moon veil from Staleman Skulls.
Moonveil is very nice. Moonveil makes any physical boss free. We've seen Octomam already.
We've seen Antlion, we've seen Baigen.
Yeah, it doesn't make Baigen free. The vampire pierces. Unlike when you use the vampire monster ability is different from the vampire item.
Yeah.
Evil. Oh no, we've seen Evil
Because the game
Wall
wants
somewhere.
to cheat. Yep, we've seen Evil Wall at Dwarf 1. We've seen Dark Imps. I believe we're up here on the mountain. We're going to find out soon because GoldenShocker's going to
They were the back
go
attack.
and get his adamant.
And Officer Soldier is in the changing room.
Yep.
I don't think we've seen the double
Baron
guards. Yeah.
Yep. Baron Guards are still out there. Trying to think of who else is trivialized.
Honestly, if you really want to go for it, you could just do a monster box on the moon.
Yeah.
Rubicant is made a lot easier. Glare pierces, but the Fire 2 counters get reflected, and his punches. So reducing him to just Glare Life Roulette. Now, if you... Oh, and here's Rubicant, so never mind.
Yeah, here's Ruby. And Wrexsoul got the wonderful lesson that Mad Ogres do not care about Quake. It's a very important lesson.
Yeah, I don't remember their actual MDef. I don't...
It's high. That's what I know.
Yeah, I know it's high. I just don't remember how high. Because I know Leviathan pierces. Mad Ogres have 254 magic defense.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I figured it had to be. Because I know Bahamut does, I know Leviathan does, I know Nuke does. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And those spells get through it because they have more than 254 magic power.
Does would Meteo? Not that anybody would
Meteo-
actually cast
Meteo
rocks on them,
pierces,
but
yeah.
yeah.
There are situations
too
where
It's just so slow though.
it's not that slow. Like, yeah, it's 20. It's a ATP delay of 20, but if it one shots them and you don't die in the process of casting it, it is faster than most. It's faster than a slow kill on the Mad Ogres.
Fair.
Like, Meteo may have been Wrexsoul's fastest way to kill those ogres, unless he had stone. then a good old off-slot stone.
Yeah, I also like using size on them.
Size is great.
They're so cute. I'm like, oh, look at you, you're cute.
Oh, I've also fought much slower Mad Ogre fights than that. Yeah, the Mad Ogres are.
Yeah.
I think we had a tournament that was absolutely full of slow but safe Mad Ogre fights in OMG because you would get. I think the number we figured out was if you get 33 defense in the. Wait,
Ah,
no, I can look. I can look. I have the page for the Mad Ogre pulled up. They have 82. So if you have 41 defense in the back row or 20 defense with mage resist, so you probably want one more than that. And you probably want,
mm-hmm.
and you want as much as possible because a crit will still hurt you quite
Yeah.
muchly.
You're still squishy to a crit, yeah.
Yeah.
So what if the Legend Sword is behind music? And this is a required music seed.
It's probably GoldenShocker's next destination. He's back on the overworld.
Mm-hmm.
He came up and did ordeals with Luca key in hand, like with a Quake Luca key in hand and top of tower available. And Dwarf Castle is like a consideration. Like you have to think. It's not an overworld check, right? You have to make the decision to do it. So the logical follow through would be to do whatever check you get out of there. A lot of people don't like the harp because it's slow.
You committed to Dwarf and you got it, so...
Committed dwarf and you got it. Looks like that's where GoldenShocker is flying.
Yep. Alright, runner of the people. I like music. I know it's slow, but I like music.
I can turn GoldenShocker up.
The Chase the Chocobo game went pretty well for GoldenShocker. It's my least favorite part of music is actually catching the black chocobo. I would probably not hesitate to do harp if I didn't have to catch a chocobo to get there.
The walk down also just sucks.
Does his Porm have exit, or is he gonna have to walk out?
His Porum definitely has exit. He has Quake, and the
Okay.
Porum didn't die during that grind.
Okay, cool.
Another thing we've learned through OMG was if you have a full experience boss at the harp and Porum is level 17, she will have exit when you leave.
Okay. Nice quick perish. Where did Wrexsoul pick up that Stardust Rod? Was that an Eblin?
Oh, that may have been from the Mad Ogres.
Not mad about the Stardust Rod. Okay, we're about to have some music, so I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. All right, we are through that harp, and our result is a package. Meanwhile, we have Wrexsoul finishing up that evil wall. And so Wrexsoul gets to get their dupe palum and play with a party. All right. Where does GoldenShocker go next?
He has top of tower and the Luca key left. So you go to the easier check.
Taking the cursed ring off and giving it to Pora.
It makes sense. If she's got the berserk, so you just get fast, cast berserk.
And we saw on Wrexsoul's side, Fu got the last of his spells. We saw the ... spell option. So I believe that means we're all done with Fu spells. We'll find out whether or not Rex chooses to chase the harp. Have either checked Sheila 1, Scarcer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe,
So they also have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This might be a little bit too long to hold out for a pan, especially with, like, the walk up the tower is pretty close to the walk down to the, to Yang.
I like Wrexsoul peeking Luca.
Yeah.
If it's something you need, it's something you need.
He also has more than enough power to do it. He has Nuke on Fusoya, and if this is nothing, he just resets back, and he's not really behind.
This is the time to do it. Looks like we're doing double Star Veil strats for Asura.
Yeah, without a mute knife, you want to be able to throw quakes.
Oh. Aw, darn. We didn't get the chest. Rope of shame. Okay, not really shame.
We got a
but...
chest.
We got a chest. I'll take it.
It's pretty close. There's also like no magic power up here. Top tower gets I think 2 rolls, so your cure 3. So if you can even like cure 3 lock her and be fine.
Yeah.
Which I think GoldenShocker might have her cure 3 locked. Oh no, there's cure 4.
The only downside to doing the double Star Veil with Asura is that, you have to use your Star Veils. Oh, we did find him in shops. I did see him in shops, so if they need to re-up.
Yeah, this is not an S-No-J flag set, so Star Veils are guaranteed to be in an overworld shop, an ungated shop.
For safety reasons. Because there are some real nasty bosses out there.
Just a life
Just
staff.
a life staff.
And it's only about 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more because we hit the rope, but it was This is where Fusoi is going to make a real difference. So they both have to go through this top tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking GoldenShocker a minute because he's having to do. It looks like there's like 20k HP up here, so it's taking a minute. He just finished it. Ooh, opening boxes. Are we stealing some sirens? No, we bought sirens. Or is it no? GoldenShocker bought sirens.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I do like.
Yep.
I do like that Wrexsoul checked his inventory to make sure he had room. Oh no, you should have cried there. Oh, dude. For those of you that don't know,
Listen.
if you, it's $2F. For those of you that don't know, what the cry command does is that it halves a monster, like a monster value that we've that we lovingly refer to as $2F, because I think that's just where it is in memory, because it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have an intended use. I think it's like the monster's effective level, because that's what Edge's sneak formula checks for a success. In vanilla, you never have sneak and cry in the same party, so the interaction goes unused. For Enterprise, we get sirens and box swine, and silk webs are also a useful steal. There are even enemies you can steal Starveils from, though. Good luck.
Yeah, I believe those are the evil the mask.
Yeah,
Evil mask.
the evil mask. Yep, and because they are a level 99 enemy, you have
Good luck. Yeah.
very little chance. I think I saw somebody. I have heard of a time where somebody got a Starveil on their first attempt against an evil mask, and then went 20 or 30 attempts without getting the second one.
I will say I 100% appreciate Wrexsoul checking to make sure there's room for the sirens,
Mm-hmm.
because I have made that mistake before in a race.
I think we all have.
Felt so dumb. I'm like, why? Why can't
Why is this failing?
Why is this failing? Purim's crying, and you still can't. Ugh. Yeah. Lessons learned the hard way. For when we don't learn them the hard way. And based on the tracker, it looks like darkness was at top of tower.
It has to be, yeah. Or I guess it could have been like Tower Key into Baron Key into Pan into Darkness, but our chain.
Yeah, it was in fact darkness at top of tower. Behind that Asura. Do you check Sheila 1 before
Yeah.
you go to the moon?
Yeah, because when else are you going to do it?
I mean, you could just fade it forever.
You could just fade it forever.
Like these are the questions. I'm like, there's the commit to your fade. Do you just or just completely forget that Sheila exists?
Now that's honestly, forgetting that Sheila 1 is a check available to you is better than fading it, because Sheila 1 is a free check. Sheila 1 is a bad fade.
It is worse on other flag sets than this one.
No, it's a bad
because
fade.
It is K. But it's K unweighted. On other flag sets, it's a K main, and thus weighted higher, and thus even worse to fade.
Yeah,
is my point.
You can say that and try to. I'm just saying that it is. There are very few things in Free Enterprise that are objective. It is objectively bad to fade Sheila 1.
A free check.
As Kedril is saying in chat, unweighted does not mean empty.
Fair. Very fair.
Like, yeah, you can say, oh, it's less likely than it usually is to have a key item, but it is as likely as every other, like, The only
Yes.
the only fight that gives you more than one key item in this flag set is the ribbon room, and you can just skip that with G64. I don't know that either runner is gonna commit to G64 at this point. It's a little late, and they might just be waiting to. GoldenShocker still has his menu color set for it, but that might just have been the set it to make it slightly quicker if I decide.
Yeah, and I can see that. Especially since setting it specifically for it is such a garishly awful color. I don't blame him for not wanting to run the entire set that way.
It's not as bad as some of the other colors. Like the ribbon room color is this like pumpkin orange, and if you're a fan of orange, it's not bad. It is very bright, but otherwise it's not bad. The Zeromus warp color, however, is
I don't think I've seen that warp
it
color.
is neon. It is neon green.
Okay.
I lost the notepad where I have the exact colors of it written down because it doesn't come up very much. But it is neon green.
Noted.
I think
I'll pass.
I think with how it and like with how the color moves you around on that map, that's the only color combo that works. There's like 3 or 4 color combos that work for the ribbon room. Like I use much less green when I do the ribbon warp, so I'm able to. So I've got this nice like bright red that I'm comfortable running an entire seat on. The neon green does fit the vibe of the tournament. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit my eyes. How about that?
No, honestly, neither does that red. But when I run on a very dark green. You know.
Yeah, I think
not unlike the dark green on my reactive.
I think most runners go with dark green. Like none of the colors go above 16 or go above the halfway point for the average runner.
Yeah, bright colors just hurt my eyes anymore.
Are both
Maybe it's
runners
just because I'm
fading?
getting old.
No, bright colors hurt my eyes too, and I'm not that old. Are both runners fading Sheila 1?
I'm here for it.
I'm not. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Somebody's
okay.
checking. It's a free
I'm contrarian,
check.
okay?
Oh, Hourglass is for sale on the moon. That's nice.
Nice.
That's a shop a lot of people forget to check because once you're in the moon, it's like, okay, I'm doing my moon math, doing my where am I doing, what am I going? Am I going top down? Am I going bottom up? Now, GoldenShocker has launched the whale, which does not prevent him from doing a 64 fuller glitch, but the setup becomes a lot more time intensive. You have to be aware of where you launch, where you return to Earth, like where you launch from the whale from on the moon, and you have to put you have to put your airships in slightly different spots. It's the guy. We got like no.
It is the guy.
I have not seen a single piece of gear for the guy. I may have missed it because it's really easy to miss.
The
like
closest thing is a
crystal.
defense sword.
Right, but then we got Kane.
I know. But no, we've not seen any of his unique gear. We got nothing.
That happens all the time. I think in like the first test seed we did of this, there was zero there was a black armor somewhere. Oh, I missed
black
that.
armor in Sheila's tower.
Oh, in Sheila's tower just now. Oh, there's the Earth crystal. This is
all right.
This is here's your moment of divergence. The Earth crystal. I mean, we get the treasury. We get to rate that treasury. Do I have?
Yes.
I wonder how quickly I can add Fubar to this scene. Very quickly. All right.
And this is where choices could decide the race more than execution.
Well, they still have to execute. Like,
well, yeah.
You still have to do the thing.
I'm not saying it's no execution.
No, but this is definitely the choices matter.
Ooh, coffins, silk webs. Kainazo on the moon.
This is a wipe, by the way.
Yeah, this is awful.
Oh no, that did a lot more than I thought.
Well,
Kane
okay. All right.
might eat it, but this wave is cute, I think.
Almost certainly.
But the Cecil and the Edge are certainly dying. There's more than 20k up here. I forget the exact number.
Porum lived. Yeah, that's we're done.
Yeah.
That's a reset.
Yeah, like the general trick I've seen and learned for the turtle on at least on hero anchors is just keep like once the punch happens, wait. Like you'll feel you can. It's a lot easier if you have a Zerker going, but you can feel kind of a chug of him queuing up the wave. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Dragoon, Bahamut Orb, Zeus Gauntlet, Crystal Ring, Earth Hammer, Ninja Sword, Leviathan, Wizard Power,
Power Shirt.
Arty Bow, Leviathan, Blizzard, Black, Firebomb. I missed the first three. Okay. But Power Shirt out of 10.
Power Shirt. Yeah, Power Shirt is great. There was a Artemis bow there as well, which is really
Yes.
which. Again, you've got a fast anchor. You want your Zergcaster going. I think somebody found Bacchus Wine. I don't know how much Bacchus Wine has been purchased.
I haven't seen either runner purchase Bacchus Wine.
Wait, Wrexsoul looted the treasury and is going to the moon.
Okay, that is a choice.
I actually
If
this,
Legend Sword is up here, it's gonna pay out.
so there is a logic to this. This like there's a line where this makes sense. And that line is I don't want to do Zot. Zot takes forever. Zot's 2 bosses. I've seen Deep Mist. It's K unweighted. You were arguing K unweighted to fade Sheila 1, but this is where you say K unweighted fade the thing. It's only as likely as all the other checks to have a key item, and you have like 6 checks available to you on the moon.
Yep, the density of the moon.
Yeah, you have 6 checks available to you on the moon. I always have to count them because there's 5 altars, but there's 6 checks. Legend at Zot would be. I mean, if Legends at Zot, this is. If Legends at Zot, Wrexsoul wins. GoldenShocker bought 8 Sirens, and.
Ooh, Heroin Rope.
And if he was thinking about grinding, and I think at 8 key items is the breakpoint at which most runners will try to go for 10 for that double. But what Wrexsoul could have done is take advantage of the max level bonus. I think his highest level is like 30-ish at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So he would get like double, probably more than double from a pair of gold dragons, the King Ryu's that you can siren up on floor 3 of both the LST and Cape Bahamut. Oh yeah, Rex stole a bunch of sirens as well. Stole 6. Probably stole 5, 4 or 5, because with the
hourglasses.
Yeah, all right. This is
Gold Dragons. Gold Dragons are in our feature.
Yeah, the gold dragons are my favorite reasonable grind on this flag set. There are silly things we can. Oh, and a Dragoon Spear in the treasury.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No. These gold dragons are gonna melt.
Kane, you feel the love tonight? Yes, you can. Kane is gonna get us some XP.
And Wrexsoul's gonna get his own paladin. Will he keep that paladin? My favorite unreasonable grind is the 3 red dragon minute.
Yeah, that's also one of mine. We have so we have the setup. No, Lucadors are reasonable grinds. That's a reasonable grind. If you're in a there are situations where doors are your best grind. They don't come up in this flag set, but there are situations where where doors are a great grind. Mage's Sister's grind. There's a good unreasonable grind. But yeah, the triple red D. Like when I think it was Flurry and Pancrase and Scythe Marshal, maybe even with some hand from Antidale. Like when that was developed, like people figured out the manipulation for that during ZZ6. I wanted it to come up in ZZ6 so bad, and it never did. I've wanted it to come up in
Yeah.
this one so bad, and it never. And I've got it once in practice, but it's just it's so incredibly niche. You really want Bahamut for it, but then you also want the MP to cast Bahamut, and it's the Gold Dragon.
And at that point, why are you doing it?
The goal. Well, you're doing it because it's 300,000 XP at 10 key items, and you're probably under level 50 anyway, so it's going to be more than 10. It's going to be more than that, and you're doing it because you're slinging someone else.
Fair. All right. Okay, we have a turtle in Remedy phase. This fight going way better for GoldenShocker.
Yep. Just I don't. Has he taken a wave on this second attempt?
I don't recall.
I don't think so.
I was too busy being distracted by what Rex was doing.
I've seen lots of Thor rages,
Yes.
and that tells me we're gaming.
Turtle down.
Turtle down. I think that was over 100. That's a huge slingshot on Cecil. I think that was over 100,000. Was that over 100,000 XP?
I missed the total, but it was a lot.
Yeah. Four of the five moon altars are over level 90. Do you know which one isn't?
Crystal Sword.
Nope. It is the Masamune altar. The Masamune
really?
altar is level 67, which for normal free enterprise gameplay means you can run buffer there. But like but for the max level bonus, it means it's not as good as like you do a moon if you're doing a moon altar to kickstart. But if you're doing the Masa altar to kickstart your levels, you have some very
Questionable life choices?
No. You just have some very very bad bosses at your more reasonable spots.
Ow.
This is
Good guard.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, this is that Cecil's real nice. And think about the Masamune altar being level it's only level 67. A boss's level is what Edge's Steel Command is the primary thing Edge's Steel Command checks. So like as a vestigial as a leftover thing in the code, it the double life glitch. I love that.
That's what I was waiting for. Yep.
I always try it and never hit it.
Mm-mm.
Props to Rex there hitting it. But like the Moss Altar being level 67 implies that at some point in development they were considering giving Ogopogo something to steal.
Ah. Hadn't thought about it that way. Does suggest that. Which makes sense given that Ogopogo gives you
Yeah, it gives you
an edge weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. What must have happened between them setting that level and the finished game is they couldn't figure out how to prevent the multi-steal that we so rely on in Free Enterprise. Because in 5, they fixed that. You can only steal one item per enemy, and so now there's boss steals, and it opens up these huge new design choices.
Yeah, video game development is always fascinating to me. Alright, we're gonna cast Tweak on our front friend. We're gonna have to light up our palm.
Yeah. Ooh, a behemoth. This is
Nice. Found a behemoth.
uh,
About that Moonveil.
this is a good spot for Moonveil. You could just throw your Moonveil up on Cecil here, and just life up the people that don't. This is actually
Okay, cover strats.
this is an I'm gonna say this is extraordinary in my opinion as a sort of edge case play, because on T Semi Pro you have really high chances of a tier 8 item from these monster boxes, and with Cecil in the party you want a Crystal Sword. And so, and like GoldenShocker can probably surmise that Wrexsoul, he can probably figure out that Wrexsoul did Eblon, right? So if there's a Crystal Sword, so if there is a Crystal Sword there, GoldenShocker will have lost time. It's just a white shirt. I mean, just a white shirt. White shirt is really good defensively.
Yes. You throw that on, you're pouring but quick.
Yeah, I think that was a good gamble from GoldenShocker there, saying, "Oh, Wrexsoul did Eblin. If I want Crystal Sword, I have to do things up here." This is also a really good one. You can Hourglass this encounter. I don't think GoldenShocker has any Hourglasses, so this is gonna be a little dicey. But Quake puts in work here. You could, if you had the Hourglass and were really feeling for it, you could try and steal Artemis arrows from the carries, as John's putting out in chat.
But you know, everybody likes a good steal from the carries.
Yeah, Artie Cecil would be great. A good portion of our dragon type bosses haven't been seen. I think we've just seen Pale Dim, right?
You've seen Pale Dim. I think that's it. We have not seen Wyvern. Demist is not a dragon. Bahamut is not a dragon.
D-Lunars. We have not seen D-Lunars.
Yes. Wyvern is not flying. There's the Crystal Sword.
We're gaming. We're doing all the damage.
Gamble pays off.
I wouldn't even say this is a gamble, because, like the decision to do these. I mean, okay, I did say it was a gamble, but this is a good gamble in so much as even if it doesn't pay out the big stick, it pays out a lot of experience. Yeah, it's a good part of your grind. This is like, I think this is something it's something we don't really see a lot, because there's not a lot of cases where we're geared well enough to take on moon monster boxes and needing to do moon monster boxes. It's good. It's a case of good game sense.
And we have Mr. Lugay.
Are you, Mr. Lugay, are you alleging that the institution that Lugay received his doctorate from was a sham?
Yes.
All right.
Have you seen what this man's been doing?
And I would argue that you would need education equivalent of a doctorate to probably do that. But I'm also not a evil biologist.
Yeah, I am alleging that any university that would actually grant Lugay a doctorate would be not a legitimate university due to him being psychotic.
I mean, there are plenty of legitimate doctors that do terrible things. That's why we have malpractice lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm trying to ignore that that's a thing. Let me live in my
a little bit of fantasy. little bit of fantasy in our Final Fantasy. I understand.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, we're out of MP. Do we have an
What?
ether? We have one ether too. Oh, you can't take it with you,
Okay.
Rex. Use ether two.
But I might need it.
It is good camping gear,
Yes, it is.
but you can't take it with you. That like
Not
there's
even to
just
the after years?
no like like if there's a phrase that free enterprise players need to learn is you can't take it with you. It is
Yes.
it is oftentimes faster to just use your good stuff right here, right now, than it is to use it when it would feel like it's the most bang for your buck.
What was a tower key from Dr. Luge in
Yep.
the White Spear altar?
As a runner, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But we
As
also know
commentary,
that
I'm hoping that Legend Sword's behind it.
that's why it's terrible because that might be where the legend sword is. But
That's
like
what I'm saying.
you're at the bottom of the moon with no pass. Like you're just at the bottom of the moon. Also, we have a crystal sword. We just Cirque Cecil.
Yes, you just Cirque Cecil and heal.
The virus is hurt.
That's why you heal.
Locked in, yeah. And he's just zerking Cecil. We've got Quake pulled up in the immediate aftermath. There we go. I was gonna say afterlife. That's not right.
Well, I mean, these are D-Lunars. Isn't this their afterlife?
Maybe,
Saying.
but is being for like I don't know. It seems like a curse to me. I wouldn't call it. It would be a terrible afterlife.
Yeah, like, who says afterlife is good?
Most people that are trying to sell you one will.
Ah, gotcha. Fair. Alright. Bye, Porum.
It's a little more than I remember those doing. But I also there we go, 1,000. That's what I was expecting. But also we have so much. We have so much damage. Crystal Sword goes brr.
Yep, sure does. Okay. Wrexsoul is done with his grind. He exited out, saved, and is now going to take on this Kainazo. So both of our runners,
Yeah. Okay.
top down.
Yep. Top down. I think this is just generally a top down flag set because you have the G64 because you have to end on the Earth. So you want Masamune and a rat tail.
Alright. There's another chain it could be.
Yep. As they say, the tail of a rat proves your courage.
I don't know why, but that is what Final Fantasy taught me as a small child.
I honestly think it's like a commentary on MacGuffins and the like the capital letters the quest. It doesn't matter what you're getting. The journey was more important than the destination. You survived an ordeal in order to get this rat tail. You are bestowed the honor due to a warrior.
Is that what it means? Because I just thought it was Bahamut had some obsession with rats and their tails.
Well, that's why he chose a rat tail, but like he chose to put it in that castle because it was an ordeal.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, Fremont's okay. GoldenShocker
Yeah.
should take 0 actions from here. He should go up. He should get a drink.
Just sit there.
He should come back and hopefully not spend too much time looking at how much experience he got.
Yep. You just sit here. This would be, in fact, the opposite of what Chat expected, but Chat was hoping for an alt gauntlet here, which is not possible on this flag set, so...
Oh yeah, and that rat tail was GoldenShocker's 10th key item, so he's got double XP here. I think he's beyond level 50, so he isn't getting much. Yeah, 122 I think is the normal double here.
Wrexsoul getting through this Kinazo a lot faster than GoldenShocker did.
Yeah,
That is
that
a
is
key item of all time.
yeah, that is a reassurance. Actually, is that a reassurance? Because that's one of the things that your chains could end in. No, that is nothing. You're right. It's just one of the key items of all time.
So, Crystal Sword Altar. Is it just going to be vanilla? Because we had vanilla D-Lunars. Are we just going to have Wyvern at Crystal Sword Altar?
We had vanilla demist as well,
Yeah?
but the more vanilla bosses you have, the more likely you are to have vanilla bosses.
All right. What is up here? Moment of truth. Do we have more vanilla?
Nope. Good old
No, this is
Globez.
the opposite of vanilla. But we do have Witch Bez, so this will be more interesting.
Slightly,
Yay,
yeah.
forts.
There isn't a lot of spell power here. I think this is also a spot with maybe 3 rolls. So unless they get a trio of tier 3 elementals, this is pretty free.
GoldenShocker wisely not trying to do a Star Veil ahead of Shadow. No risk of soft locking.
Yeah. Funny thing is, you can just take that risk. Like, you saved beforehand. If you reflect a breath, you just hit the reset button, and oh no, I know there's breath now. It's a little, it's annoying, and like, the optimal play is to just, the optimal play is to come in with, is to immediately reset and set up pigs, but you don't need to do that. Why did that burst miss? Oh, because he's muted.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful status effect priority.
Yep. Yeah, Berserk's pretty low on the priority list, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Which, I mean, from a balance standpoint, makes sense. You don't want your players to be able to just override negative status effects
You should be able
with
to.
an amazing overpowered one.
Yes, but they're also. This game is also made of bubblegum and duct tape. I think it's just what they got.
Exactly.
I would. Oh, you have a Dragoon Spear. Yump. Come on. Does he have two Dragoon Spears?
I don't know. I haven't been paying close enough attention to his inventory to know. All right, we just got a power shirt from Crystal Sword Altar,
Oh,
so
he's
GoldenShocker
going.
is going back to the blue planet.
Okay, I see what he's doing. Without a crystal sword in hand, he's just doing frogs.
Yay! Piggy strats. Okay, so you hit the little one, and then you kill the big one. It's a very important order.
Yeah, you have some leeway. You can if the little one accidentally dies, but oh, Lewin didn't have a lot of HP left in the first place. Yeah, yeah, that's a white spear that's being swung. The white spear does not deal extra damage to undead.
Even though it should.
It
But
should. It deals extra.
it's just Final Fantasy things.
It deals extra damage to spirits, which really feels like an off by 1 error, because you don't encounter any spirits after getting the This is a wipe.
Yeah. And that right there shows why you want to hit the little one and then focus fire the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big one will be stuck. Sorry, rat tail into pink tail, and immediately get
The
a
Baron
Baron
key.
key.
Oh no, we hate this.
Um. So yeah, you kill the little one so that the little one casts the wall and fails misery. And then the big one's going to be stuck in the virus script so long as they are both alive. So you target and focus fire down the big one because it's the one that can still do anything, and leave the little one for last at that point.
Yeah. The little one is also helping you out, or the big one is also helping you out at that point. With,
Yes. With the
with the
virus counters that
viruses.
are hitting. Yep. There's all the more reason to focus fire on the big one because the big one's doing most of the work for you on the little one. But yeah, if the frog goes down, then the big D lunar's gonna go into the fire counters.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who is in this tower?
Agapago. No.
No, it's Odin. Hi, Odin. Bye,
Bye,
Odin.
Odin.
Yeah, a tower key is one of the spots that if I'm low on XP when I get underground, and I have a tower key, it's a quick XP infusion for 700 HP unless there's an all gauntlet there.
I think Rex should be nuking one of these D-Lunars here. Oh, he's just skipping it at this point. That's also fair.
Yeah.
Which might be to his benefit. We don't know.
Yeah, because the Baron key came from that chain, because Rat Tail was behind them.
Mm-hmm.
This Legend Sword is quite buried.
Yep, that is the risk of the flag set.
Mm-hmm. Very, very swingy.
Oh, Palms? I
What
think
do we
only
get?
one. The pass? We like that.
Mm-hmm. Especially since we know Legend Sword has to be on Earth.
Other than the Ribbon Room, can you warp anywhere else? There are a lot of places you can warp. As far as places that you can safely exit, as far as places where you can go back to the overworld afterwards, you can warp into the Sealed Cave Room. You can warp into Cave Bahamut. You can warp into the Tower Key Room. Though if you warp into the Tower Key Room, don't talk to NPCs. Unless you like having to reset your emulator. You can warp to the Hummingway Shop. I think there's a couple other spots. But if you accept never returning to the blue planet, you can warp to the you can warp to the lunar dais as well and exit out from there. But you can get to every moon altar via G64. It's just that the ribbon room is the only one where you can get back out, because once you warp to the moon through 64 floor glitch and take an up door, it's not the opposite of a return door. It messes up your exit point, and if you exit, you go back to that point where you just where you set it. It's really interesting. Like, I would highly recommend that everybody try out, not necessarily learn for racing, just try out 64 floor glitch at some point. It's a very fun glitch, and while it is by its nature very technical, the documentation is, I mean, it's in the Discord. There's a thread in the in-depth mechanics channel.
shout out to everybody contributing
Yep.
to that thread and figuring out all of the technical details behind it and making it usable in a race setting. As Wrexsoul is taking on these D-Lunars again, and as GoldenShocker is making his way to face off with CPU at the Beigen spot, this is a good time to shout out our runners. If you are not following them, make sure you go ahead and head to their Twitch channels and give them a follow. They're amazing. And also shout out to the whole Restream booth. Thank you, Scarcer, for being in here with me on comms and for keeping the Restream going. And extra thank you to Rowdy Sniper for doing the tracking, because Lord knows it is difficult to track while talking.
Tracking is honestly the hardest part of the restream. It's very weird to me that, like, when we have new people join the restream team, which if you want to join the restream team and potentially be somebody yapping up here in the booth, join the Discord, and I don't know where it's posted exactly, but if you go asking, people should give it to you. You can sign up, join the restream team. It is there isn't a lot of requirement. It's just, but like people will be asked, but like you'll probably be asked to track first, and tracking, and once you've tracked a couple of times, they'll start putting you on with commentary, and once you've done some tracking, commentary is much easier. Why is Kane weak to fire?
I don't know. That is a very good question. CPU went down real fast for GoldenShocker, and now we've got dolls on the Baron throne. Ugh. Does he have, like, fire armor on?
He must have some piece of fire gear on, which is so weird. Like, that's yeah, he's got a fire shield on,
it's a fire shield. Ugh.
And that is such a, like, it's so weird that it is not like the game does not, like, these descriptions are written by the people developing the randomizer for the items, and they chose not to include that fire armor makes you weak to fire and that ice armor makes you weak to ice, which is probably a bug. I think that's worth calling a bug. Perhaps we should file a bug report about it.
All right, who are our statues? One flame took out our dolls. A splash.
Oh,
and Octomam tentacles.
The splash effect that plays when you beat Kanyatso, when you beat the element spot for Kanyatso. There might be another spot where it's used, but that's the spot where I know it's used.
Gotcha. I was wondering it was from the dancing girl in Baron who jumps into the water to dance. Just a silent staff from Baron.
Oh yeah, I think it is also used there.
So,
but this rat tail chain
ends
in nothing.
If Wrexsoul chooses to abandon these D-Lunars,
which I don't think he is at this point. He's
committed.
Yeah. He might even be.
Shocker remembers that demist is a thing.
Why did you wall there? These scripts are.
They still wall even when there's only one of them left.
Yeah, but they don't do
the virus script.
It's been like 3 or 4 turns because that's part of the virus script. It like starts going to the virus script. Like it's at this point, it should only be doing the flames.
Hi, buddy. Sorry, my cat is now here to help. Yeah. I agree with Wrexsoul's decision to move on from that.
Yeah, and if
a lot of time.
And hopefully he sticks to this decision from now, because I think that puts him close to neutral with GoldenShocker here. He has the Earth Crystal, which GoldenShocker doesn't, but it looks like he's going to get it now.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually set up Sheila 1 though. Guess we'll find out. Yep, he did.
Okay.
Okay. Now GoldenShocker has his Earth Crystal. And nothing else to check.
Yeah, it is. It's just there's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, this does put GoldenShocker ahead. And I believe it does, in fact, have to be that wonderful 17 out of 17 chain. Earth Crystal into Pan into Legend Sword.
Yeah, and with a Crystal Sword and and with Masamura Edge. This and I don't know if he got to nuke on Palom. He probably doesn't care if he got to nuke on Palom.
At this point, I wouldn't.
No. It'd be
90
nice,
minutes
though.
into a seed, it's go.
Depends on how far you are. If you're like an egg away from it, it's worth doing that egg.
Okay,
Nuke. If you casting nuke to nerf the first Big Bang, stabilizes a lot of your damage ranges. Like this, like if you're, I don't remember what exactly the exact numbers, but like around 8 to 10,000 damage around against Zeromus puts you at a risk of getting wombo comboed. It's of Big Bang into Meteo,
Yeah.
which even if the Big Bang is nerfed, if you're at these levels,
Yeah, these are still...
these are levels
Our
where
squishy characters are squishy.
yeah, the squishy characters are squishy, but they're also not the ones that aren't.
All right. Wrexsoul abandoning Ribbon Room. Here for it. Another guy in the tower. Checking tower key? Yes, checking tower key. The fastest of the checks available to Wrexsoul at this point.
Ildeta Pan. I don't know. I don't know where Wrexsoul goes from here because the logical play is. Oh no, he didn't get the rat tail.
Nope.
So this tower key turns out nothing, and then it's really close, and it comes down to Zeromus fight execution. Like I think GoldenShocker is solidly in the lead here. And he has the time, and if he doesn't mess up his Z fight, he wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand why Wrexsoul chose to fade the Earth. This is just rando gonna rando. That Earth was the answer. The pass is what we're about to get, what Wrexsoul's about to get from this tower key check. And on this particular seed, there was no way to single dip the tower because darkness was at the top and tower key was on the moon. Yes, on the upside, Wrexsoul taking the tower key does mean he will get the pass and does not have to walk the LST again.
Oh, we're about to get an Edge Forge. Got any prediction there on what it is?
Scrap. I always root for scrap.
I'm a big fan
because
of.
I choose violence.
I'm on the other side of that. I want to see a Mutsu no Kami.
See chats with me.
Masa Mutsu no Kame is like, I think XCal levels of power for Edge.
Yeah. I mean, I am in favor of Edge doing lots of damage, but I just think it's funny when it's scrap. GoldenShocker is also, I'm going to point out, GoldenShocker's Z fight is probably gonna go faster because he has the crystal sword that Wrexsoul does not.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Oh, and
be
Wrexsoul is taking the diversion for
Wrexsoul
music.
hasn't checked harp yet. We'd forgotten. Okay, so Wrexsoul's gonna give us a reprise of music,
Yep.
while GoldenShocker heads up to return the pan to Sheila, because somehow whacking an unconscious man inside the head wakes him up. And there's our legend sword. So with GoldenShocker's party, do you do hybrid or do you just Zerk and controller down?
Does Palm no nuke?
Good questions.
Because
I do not know the answer to that.
I think if Palom knows nuke, you nerf with the nuke. I mean, you might nerf with like Quake, anyways, just with the way the party order should turn out.
Darn, we didn't rob the old man. Shelf's right there. Alas. And shop. Avenger!
Yo, oh, it's the
You didn't buy it?
Sasuke katana. Let's see. Sasuke has agility and vitality plus 10, 95 power, 99 accuracy. That could give Edge a multiplier, but you would hot swap that on in the fight because 10 agility almost certainly messes up your anchoring.
The Avenger.
I think we sell the farm for Avengers.
He's gonna be very upset if he didn't.
GoldenShocker showing some restraint and only buying one Avenger. He's going in fast anchored? This is ludicrous.
I'm here for it.
I level.
Yes.
Wait. He's going in really fast anchored. This can go sideways. Hold on. Edge stats.
There
At
are
level
silk webs for sale.
At level 52, Edge has a base 42 agility. He has plus 15 at least from his gear. Um, if he gets everybody zerked, and if he can get I don't know if he has a silk web, but if he gets slows, oh, there's silk webs. Okay, that's actually fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, there's a question we're supposed to ask.
Is there?
Because we're about to fight a Z. There's a Z. Because in Free Enterprise, Zeromus is just way too big of a baddie to be putting anywhere else, because I don't want a Big Bang in Antlion Cave. And so instead of randomizing
You could live a Big
where...
Bang in Antlion Cave.
yeah, I still don't want it.
I think the issue with, sorry, I interrupted your bit.
We can talk about it during the Z fight. But since we don't randomize where he is, we randomize what he looks like. Scarcer, would you like to ask the question?
Whose butt are we kicking this morning? Oh, this afternoon.
Yes, that would be the one.
I think the deal with not randomizing of not yet having an option to randomize Zeromus's location is not wanting to have dynamic modification of his of two dynamic modification of his script, because the refill, logically the refill should be if you have Zeromus and Antlion, your refill should be to the 1000 HP in Antlion. Hey,
Okay.
be very,
I
very
like
quiet.
this one.
We are hunting rabbits.
So good. So good. All right. And listening to those lovely, lovely tunes. This song is such a banger.
Yeah.
Wrexsoul's heading up Zot for the chain that will lead him to Z. That's what, 4,000 on. See, Edge and Cecil, some parity there.
Was that nerfed? Oh yeah,
Oh,
Cecil took the damage. Cecil took the counter nuke. He just has so much HP that I didn't notice.
okay.
Yeah, I think this is fine. This might be controller down from
Mhm.
here. Maybe heal up to take the
next nuke or Big Bang.
Yeah, to take the second Big Bang if it hits, but I think we're fine from here.
Mm-hmm. Power overwhelming.
The power of a big stick.
Mm-hmm. You know, generally speaking, Zeromus isn't free, but GoldenShocker's making it look easy.
Yeah, Zeromus isn't free except when he is.
Right.
Like there are people who say, "Oh, Zeromus is never free." No, sometimes Zeromus is free. All you have to, like,
If you work hard enough, with enough levels, Z is free.
I could hand a 5-year-old this setup and explain to them what they need to do, and they would win this fight.
Yeah, Kid Stop really wishes she understood the Zeromus script. Because this was awful. Going through this as a kid, not understanding it. I was so frustrated, so angry.
I didn't even make it past. I didn't even make it to this point when I played this game as a kid. I didn't know that you needed to like talk to every NPC and go out of your way to get the key items. So when the game told me go to Cave Magnus and get the Earth Crystal, I just tried to go to Cave Magnus and get the Earth Crystal, and like I never talked to Edward.
Oh, gotcha. That definitely makes it more difficult. Okay, we got a black hole coming out. And our porum's on the ground, which is not a good thing. Let's
And there's the crack boom.
Yep, crack
GoldenShocker
boom.
has finished the race with a time of 1:42:08. We'll see if he wants to join for an interview momentarily.
Yep, big GG's to GoldenShocker. While we're waiting, we've got Wrexsoul getting ready to whack a man in a coma with a frying pan from his wife. Goodbye, Elmer Fudd. All right.
Now the strategy question is more of a question for Wrexsoul. He has Fusoya, but does he want? I don't know if he has any wine. So and I don't know if he's gonna exactly buy an Avenger with his funds. I just don't know what his funds look like. And we are joined by GoldenShocker. GG's. Very well run.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, there's probably about 20 minutes to save if I knew where Sheila 1 was.
Oh, sure. But
Yeah,
you know, that notwithstanding,
it.
it was
Well,
very well run. I
There's
really.
probably about 20 minutes to save if I knew where Sheila 1 was.
Read an echo. I just gotta change audio real quick. Okay. Um, but I really appreciate what you did with the monster boxes on the moon. We don't see a lot of that, and it paid out well for you in terms of experience and in terms of the big stick. Was there anything in particular motivating you towards that?
Uh, Honestly, I was just looking at Cecil's hand axe and I was thinking I probably should do something about that. The best option was honestly just try to get moon boxes at that point. I had sold a lot of the other stuff that I could have used. There was that light sword that was in a weapon shop on Blue Planet somewhere, but I didn't remember where it was, quite frankly. So I was just going for honestly a shot in the dark, and it kind of worked out for me. That honestly pure luck though.
Uh, I wouldn't say it was pure luck because those are the locations that are most likely to give you a crystal sword. And even if they didn't pay out the crystal sword, they paid out a decent chunk of experience.
Yeah. No, I mean I didn't hate the play. It was a little dicey. I could have done that. What do you call it? That first fight on the moon a little bit cleaner.
Oh, the Kanyatsu, yeah.
He's yeah, he's always rude, but I mean, with that being said, overall like routing notwithstanding, I thought I played really well. Like I got from point to point the way that I meant to pretty quickly. So like I didn't hate how I played. I just as soon as I saw what was at Sheila one, I definitely my heart sank a little bit.
Were
Yeah.
you panicked?
uh, I don't know if I panicked. It was just like there is definitely a faster way through this. I'm probably in trouble. And I mean, I think honestly, it was just kind of lucky. I don't know what happened with Wrexsoul, but I felt like I was not doing very good after I saw where the what do you call it, where the forge was.
Yeah, Rexel made the educated, he thought that Zot's a long check. He did do Sheila one. He got Zot. What he did was he looted the treasure. He went to the moon because well, what we speculated in the booth, and what we'll certainly be asking him once he gets into the booth, if he comes into the booth, is that Zot's a long check, and with K unweighted, it is only as likely as every other check to give a key item. So it makes sense to fade. Makes sense to fade Zot.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, it's just every once in a while, like you play a randomizer and you just see what the jet path is, and it's like I could have easily done that and I chose not to, and it just puts a lot of doubt in your mind, like as you play. I mean, what you say is true that it's probably check density probably made more sense at that situation, but in my mind it was like, well, there's a lot of people that would just clean up the blue planet before they go to the moon just because the moon was a little dicey with that group, unless you happen to already have Cecil, which Cecil was in Zod anyway. So just in the back of my mind as I was playing, I definitely was thinking about it around like that hour 30 mark when everything kind of unraveled or like showed up. That's when I started thinking a little bit.
So I got a what if question for you. So
Okay.
had you done Sheila 1 and gotten that Earth Crystal and found your Legend Sword, would you have done 64 floor glitch to get to Zeromus?
I don't know how to do 64 for
Okay.
glitch or whatever, so it
Oh,
wasn't even an option.
oh, you so the menu color you run with is 2/3 of the setup for the ribbon room color. I saw
I
I saw you set
I've
that up
practiced
pre.
that.
Okay.
So I've been practicing it, but I've every time I've ever tried it, I soft walk in the what do you call it? The room in Seal Gate or Seal Cave, and
Oh.
I still haven't been able to figure that out yet.
Okay.
Like I've practiced it probably like 6 times, and I definitely don't feel comfortable doing it in a real race. But even without that, I I'd say functionally I don't know how to do it. So yeah, I've like started thinking about like should I try it? Should I go for it? So I've set my menu colors up that way intentionally, but like yeah, that was definitely not on the table whatsoever for me.
Okay.
Not in a race
Okay.
right now.
Okay. But in the future, perhaps.
If I practice enough, yeah,
All
and
right.
I could actually get it once.
That definitely tracks. That tracks. This was not a seed to be doing the 64 floor glitch for like ribbon room or anything, but
It was. It
with
was.
the
Yeah,
There was setup. Like, if like when you went underground would have been like as soon as you went underground would have been the time to do it. Like get exit on
yeah,
portal,
with
go do it
the
once you're underground.
I meant more
yeah
the
with the
path to
magnet
go
too.
was not
Oh,
through the moon.
yeah. It was. It would not have paid out, but there was a good setup for
Yes,
it in this seed.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that honestly that cost me 20 some minutes against Joe because it actually was the path when I raced him,
Ah,
and
Hey, don't worry about Joe.
it just
Anything can cost you 20 minutes against Joe.
you don't know
I
what Joe's
mean
gonna do. You just don't.
I mean that's fair, but yeah, I mean my first two races it would have made a difference. And so I've started like trying to practice it, but I still haven't been able to actually figure it out. That's the one thing that I kind of it's not anybody's fault, but I just haven't had the time to learn it. So I've been focused on the things that actually gain me the most time and let RNG kind of play itself out. You know, get lucky, don't get unlucky.
Yeah.
So,
The Ribon School of Free Enterprise.
Mhm.
I mean, I could do worse.
Well, and with your win, I do believe that is a sweep for your team this week, so definitely
Oh,
could do worse.
that puts
It's
you
awesome.
pretty
So,
solidly into bracket contention, right? I'm looking now.
Yeah,
Violet.
we
Oh,
were.
maybe. Yeah, if you all do
We'd
well
have to.
next
contention
week,
definitely.
you could get the eighth seed, I think.
Yeah, we would basically have to sweep again. Like we did not get a lot of points the first couple weeks,
Yeah,
so
I think it's on. I think it's on the table.
Mm,
so you're
I
saying
look.
there's a chance.
I am
Yes,
saying there's a
absolutely.
chance. It might be a low chance, but I am saying there's a chance, and I'm rooting for you.
No, I appreciate it.
Unless we match up, in which case, sorry.
I'm
That's
rooting
also
for
fair.
everybody. Yay.
I'm definitely rooting for too many people in this tournament, but
That's the
there's
Uh,
best way. It's the
there
best way.
are a lot of folks in this community that I like, and I want to see them do well.
yeah. No, I mean, I hope everybody does well. Just not during the weeks when they race against our team.
Yep, that's how it should be. That's how it goes.
All right, that is all the questions I have. Scarsor, do you have any more?
Um, no, I think that's all I've had. I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover. This is by no means kicking you out, but once again, good game, well run. Look forward to seeing how you do next time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, appreciate you guys putting on the restream, letting us race, and obviously, very much appreciate everybody that organized the tournament. I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot goes into it, so very much appreciated. Hope everybody has a good day, and we'll hopefully see y'all next week.
Yeah, looking forward to
Thanks
it.
so much. GG.
Yep, GG's. Take care.
And it looks like we are somewhat of a hybrid strat against this Zeromus. Palom has nuke. That's honestly
Hmm.
that's probably just the pivot of do you do hybrid strats? Does Palom have nuke? If Palom has nuke,
Yep.
do hybrid strats. Nuke does a lot of damage, even if the animation is slow. And also, we didn't have a crystal sword, so our Zerkers, it looks like our Zerkers aren't actually that far behind what GoldenShocker's Zerkers were, but it feels a lot more comfortable to do do these hybrid strats when your reflect strats aren't necessarily panning out.
Yes. Yes. Having three viable Zerkers makes hybrid look very, very good. Because we got the Artie on Cecil, Defense Sword Avenger Kane. Yeah, we're going full on no heal here.
And it's over,
What
because
is
it's
Nerf?
over. It's GG.
GG. GG
And that
Wrexsoul.
is Wrexsoul finishing up with a time of, I need to find the race room, there it is, 154.04.
Massive GG's to Wrexsoul.
I lost his audio there. We'll see if he wants to interview.
That's okay. And there is Wrexsoul. GG on your race today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
That Z fight was pretty smooth. Like those hybrid strats went pretty well. How did you feel about that? How did you feel about the Z fight?
Oh, the Z fight went fine. I don't know if I should have gone all the way down to BS4, but I've never put Edge up to 46 before. So I haven't run him that fast, so I'm like, well, let's make him a little slower just to make sure. Is it 56, not 46? I thought it was 28 and 46. Oh, well then I didn't. Yeah, then I didn't need to put the monster back on. Then okay, well that's not bad then. He was,
One moment, please.
Hold on, sorry.
We'll get Scar here in
I
just
think
a
I'm
second.
here. All right.
Love it. We're doing it
well,
live.
we're interviewing Rex, so we need to be able to hear him.
Okay.
I'm secondary
Yes.
to that.
Can we hear me at least?
I think so.
Yes.
You guys can hear me. Can they hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Chat
okay.
saying they could hear you.
So we're good. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what the breakpoint was. I thought it was 46, not 42. I had Edge at 43, so I'm like, okay, if I put the Moss back on him, he goes back up to 46, and then I can at least have a breakpoint. That was my thought process, at least.
Mhm.
And that slowed down to battle speed 4 because I'm like, I don't know what the hell's gonna look like, so just give it a shot.
Better to
Yeah.
be just above a breakpoint than just below one. So
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was concerned about. So
Though, now you have a good practice setup for if you want to try that on higher battle speeds and see how that feels.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt the run went pretty smooth. I just that D Lunars fight. That's the D. Everybody's got their boss they hate seeing. That's mine.
That's fair.
That is mine.
I would recommend going ahead and watching back Restream because we were talking about that fight and things that you could have done
Oh, absolutely.
to make that go smoother. So that is, I will highlight
Honestly,
that spot for you.
My main recommendation is to cast more nukes. If you have Fusoya and he has nuke, cast nuke. If you like.
Yeah, I mean, at that point in time, I think the reason why I wasn't because I was so paranoid about everyone else dying, and Fu was my only healer. So I'm
That's
like,
fair.
okay. But yeah, I mean, that's that. Like I said, everybody's got their boss, and that is mine. And just it does not matter where I see them. I always get all clammy. I always get all hyperventilating, and I could see them at the D miss spot and still hyperventilate. It's just one of those things. Other than that, I thought my run was okay. I mean, I probably shouldn't have banged my head against the wall that many times against them, but
it happens. I've done similar in the last week. It's we're all stubborn. We're all stubborn. It's it happens.
But
100% is what it is.
GoldenShocker with the W, GG's. That was
So
I was worried. I mean, as soon as I banged my head against the wall the second time, I'm not, every 2 seconds I'm looking at the race room. Is he done?
Yeah.
Is he done?
So this is something on the rewatch that you might look at as a mistake, but I'm going to tell you right now that it was a well-informed play to fade Zot on the K, and I think you know that because you did it.
Yeah.
But just because it bit you this time doesn't mean it's going to be a bad play next time. I was really I really liked seeing that show up. Was you don't like nobody likes Zot. You had a lot of power in hand with the Fusoya.
I was happy with my routing. That's the one thing I am glad I did. I was happy with my routing. Like I said, the only thing I wish I had done is I wish I had cleared the Crystal Sword altar before I gave up the moon.
Mmm.
I was there. I should have cleared it. I had the power to clear it before I gave up on the moon. I should have. And the thought process, and the reason why I did what I did was I was save scumming. Honestly, I'm like, okay, I'll give up on this for now. I'm gonna save and go down and check these checks real quick. If they're not there, I'll go back and bang my head again until I get through it. So that was the thought process. Now, like I said, I wish I had cleared Crystal Sword before I did it, just in case it was sitting there. But I don't. I'm not unhappy with my play. I've always said going into these that as long as I could walk away from this saying I didn't make any mental errors, then I'm happy. And I don't think I did today. I need practice. Obviously, I'm still learning the D-Lunars, and I'll definitely watch back the restream and get some pointers, and I'm always open to those. But I don't feel like I had a bad run, so I'm gonna take that as a W.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked GoldenShocker. So
Okay.
this is a what if scenario.
All right.
If you had done Earth before going to the moon and you got your legend sword before ever touching the moon, would you have considered using the 64 floor glitch to get to Z?
No. So I messed up. I know how to do. I just started learning 64 glitch like a week and a half ago, and I know how to do it if I just have the Enterprise. So when I got the magnet key, I'm like, oh sweet, I don't have to raise anything else. I was like, all I need to do is find exit, and I was like, cool. And then I raised the hovercraft. I'm like,
Gotcha.
oh crap. It's like I don't know what to do with this now. So the thought process ran by my head early to use it, but no, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
If Zod gave me, if I checked Zod earlier, my plan would have probably been the same, but I'd have had less routing concerns. Because with Fu having weak on him, and having stop on 2 mages, having the Dragoon Spear, I'm like, I'm planning on doing Gold Dragons. That was my plan, because I couldn't find Sirens anywhere, so I didn't want to spend 15 years stealing them on the Giant. So I said, I'll steal about 8 or 9. We'll go up there. We'll take advantage of the higher XP up there. So if I went Zot early, I'd have probably just gone to the moon, did my Sirens, and then walked from there. That's probably how I would have run it.
Legit. Makes sense.
Yeah. Because at that point in time, Cecil was still been level 1. I was still in the same boat when I went to the Crystal Palace, so I still need to level him up. So yeah, I think that'd probably been the play.
Awesome. Scarcer, anything else you got?
No, I think we've covered it. I think you did. D-Lunars notwithstanding, that was pretty well run. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do in the next week, and the best of luck to you going forward.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thanks for the commentating there, Step Lively, Scarcer, appreciate it. Roddy, on the buttons, the tracking. And who's doing the behind the scenes today?
Oh, I am.
Scarcer.
You are? Okay. So, we don't have. Okay. I was like, hold on, there's only 3 people. Usually there's 4, so I was confused. So, but thank you all for everything. Obviously, I know it's fun to do, but at the same time, it's a commitment. And without you guys, we wouldn't be able to show these. So, and then GG's again to GoldenShocker for the win. So,
GG's Wrexsoul, and thank you. We don't have a restream to do. Y'all ain't racing, so thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
I do believe that is going to wrap up our restream for this morning, for this afternoon. There is another restream later tonight. It will be Flurry versus One Free Fits racing the Adamant Cup Experience at I believe 8 Eastern. It's 5 Pacific, whatever time that is Eastern.
Yes.
And there is currently, it's just started, but if you want to go to the Discord and tune into it, Jazer versus Lord Bob Bree, racing Zima Zone Anthologized. But from this point, we are going to raid into Drinks Glue, a valued member of the community. He's got that dog in him.
Love Doggo Cam.
He is doing some Adamant Cup Experience Practice. So let's
Head over there.
Let's go give him some love.
Yes. And thank you one last time. Never mind.